It's time for a new evolution in raising golfers, one that doesn't involve headaches, tears, or heading down the path of unknown. Whether you're trying to introduce children to the game of golf, help them play competitively, or play at a collegiate level, you're in the right place. This show is for any parent, player, or coach who wants to build a better team at home and on the golf course. This is the Raising Golfers Podcast. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Raising Golfers Podcast. I am your host, Travis Hauser, PGA professional here in Carlsbad, California. This is episode 70. Woo! Time has flown. It's been a lot of fun, a lot of learning, and just so many things to take away from all the guests that have come on the podcast and things that I've learned, not only just from feedback from you guys, but also from families that are within my junior golf program, and just how to help spark some of these ideas to share with you guys all around the world on this podcast. So thank you guys so much. This is going to be the last episode of 2021. It's going to be the last episode of season 2, and really excited for some of the stuff to come forward next year with the podcast. And today we're going to finish up the year with goals and setting goals for next year. So I'm sure all of you have set goals in one way or another, whether it's to lose weight, earn more money, save more money, improve your golf game, and improve in so many other ways in your lives. So I'm going to try to help condense and simplify the process for you guys, and maybe hopefully make this goal setting process just a little bit better for you for goals that you want to set for 2022. It's going to be a wonderful year. I'm really looking forward to it in so many ways. So let's get into it. So I would say the first thing you should do is choose a goal that is worthwhile. So you got to think, what is the reason you are doing this goal? Why do you want to achieve it? Is the effort needed to reach this goal really worth your time? And I think that's going to kind of help you set even just realistic goals, because we can set these lofty goals, but then if we actually think about the process that's needed to achieve it, we then begin to realize that maybe it's not so realistic with things that are going in our lives, the amount of time we have to put forth towards this thing. So just make sure that the goal that you are setting is really worthwhile. And worthwhile means, the process and steps it's going to take to actually get there and achieve this goal. Now, the next thing I would say would be to choose goals that are achievable, but also push you. So we don't want to set goals that are too easy. And I think if goals start to get a little bit too boring, then, we begin to abandon them. So we want to be able to set goals that allow us to overcome challenges, and those types of things will then help us begin to feel a bit of a sense of reward once we start improving in some of the processes and areas that are getting us step by step closer to the goals that we want to reach. None of the goals that we set are going to be easy. The process is never going to be easy, but we do want to make sure that it does push us and it's not too difficult, and at the same time, it's not too easy. So after that, you've got to be really, really specific about the goals that you decide to set. So choosing a score to shoot on the golf course is good, but it needs to be broken down, and then you need to think about the process that is needed to be able to achieve that goal. So for example, just saying, I want to shoot 79 for 18 holes in 2022. It's a great goal, but we got to think, okay, how are we going to do that? So we got to make it more specific. We got to talk about, okay, I want to shoot 79 in 2022. Now, to do that, I need to then begin to hit 9 or 10 fairways in regulation. To hit 9 or 10 fairways in regulation, I'm going to have to improve the ball flight and contact with my tee shots. And I also want to then begin to make and hit 6 to 8 greens in regulation. Now, to hit 6 to 8 greens in regulation, I need to have opportunities to be able to reach the green in regulation. So that goes back to my tee shots. And then I also have to improve the ball striking with my iron play to get 6 to 8 greens in regulation. Then once the ball gets up towards the green, my chipping I feel like is pretty good. However, my total putts recently has been floating around 36 putts for 18 holes. So I've got to knock that down to closer to 32 to 34 putts. And to do that, I need to work on my start line. So I'm going to do a lot of putting and gate drills to improve on my start line. And I'm going to spend about an hour a week working on short putts, start line, and gate drills with my putting. Now that would be a lot more of a specific way of saying I want to shoot 79 in 2022. So you can break that down however you'd like for whatever it is your goal is in relation to your golf. But that would just be an example of how I think you need to think through the process and be very specific about what that goal is. Then you really, really, really need to try hard to commit to this goal. So I think the first thing you need to do is you need to write the goal down. You need to put it in front of you, maybe hang it up on the wall, put it in your refrigerator, put it somewhere that you see it day in and day out. And then, like I just mentioned, you got to develop the action plan to be able to reach that goal. So once you develop your action plan, I would say make your goal public and allow people to hold you accountable to those goals, because that's going to push you when you start losing sense of motivation to try to achieve the goal. If more people know about your goal and more people know about what you're trying to do, the more you feel that you are accountable to try to reach that goal, and the harder you're going to work towards it. So then, being specific with your goals, I think you do need to set deadlines to accomplish your goals. So what's important about that is if you set a deadline, it's going to hold you more accountable towards achieving the goal. It's going to allow less time for procrastination. And it actually might put your goals into reality a lot faster than you even imagined. So I'll give you an example. It was in 2018. I told a group of friends who were part of a personal finance group that I was belonging to that I wanted to get out of debt. And I wanted to pay all of my student loans off. That's all I had to pay off to clear my debt. And I said, I'm going to set my deadline for July 1st, 2018. And this was in January 2018 to pay off all of my student loans. And I think at that time I had, I would say, somewhere between $10,000 to $12,000 in student loans. And ironically, I actually ended up paying off my student loans by the end of April 2018. And some of those friends would hold me accountable and check in on me to see where I was in relation to hitting that deadline on July 1st. And I actually beat it by 2 months. And, setting that deadline really helped kind of keep that in the back of my mind and sped up the process for me to hit the goal 2 months faster. So you'd be surprised when you actually set a deadline, what that can do for you and your accomplishments and your goals, whatever they may be. And now let's hear a message from our show sponsor. Hey guys, this last spring I teamed up with Operation 36 here at our facility in Carlsbad, California, and it has completely changed my way of coaching and service to my customers. Operation 36 is a developmental golf program designed to take beginners from playing their first round to being able to shoot par or better for 9 holes. So here's how it works. Participants attend weekly 1-hour classes and work through a 6-level curriculum. They then play in 9-hole events once or twice a month with a common goal to shoot 36 or better from different distances. And using the Operation 36 app, coaches can plan programs, communicate with families, and track students' progress. It's really, really cool. If you're a parent listening, search for a program near you on their website at operation36.golf/juniors. And coaches, if you'd like to start a program at your facility, go to the same website, operation36.golf/coaches. So then, as you're doing these goals, I think it's important also to evaluate your goals. So remember that goal setting is a process, and evaluation is an important part of this process. So we can't just settle on a good or bad assessment. I think you need to think about what you did, how you did it, and what you got out of it so far during the process. Now, whether you're successfully accomplishing your goals or not, there's always something to be learned. What works, what doesn't work. Whether you're achieving your goal and lived up to the expectations or not, you've got to think about maybe why you failed or why it's not happening. What areas can you improve on? You've got to constantly be evaluating these goals. I think it's super important. Now, the last thing that I am going to share would be that it's so important to reward yourself for your accomplishments. And what I mean by that is not just rewarding once you get to the end goal, but I think you have to reward yourself step by step throughout the process. So going back to my specific goal, I want to be able to hit, I said 9 to 10 fairways in regulation. Once you start chipping away at that, or let's just say you hit your personal best and you have 7 fairways in regulation in an 18-hole round, you got to reward yourself for that. Give yourself a pat on the back. You go out and you shoot 85, but you had 6 greens in regulation. Give yourself a pat on the back. Reward yourself for those accomplishments. That is huge. That's a huge step in the process. we can't just be always thinking just about the end goal. We've got to be thinking about the step-by-step process to get us there, because that's going to keep us motivated. It's going to help keep our confidence high. And those who see the importance of the process and those who focus on the process are the ones who usually achieve the goals that they're trying to obtain. And those are usually the people who are the most successful. So I want you to focus more on the process of these goals, not so much just the outcome and getting to the destination too quickly. It's about working on the process to then get to your destination. And that is what we have to spend our effort, our energy, and our time on during our goals. So I hope that you set some really, really great goals for 2022. As I said, I'm super excited for 2022 in so many ways with the Golf Academy and the podcast. And I hope you have some exciting things to think about and set for your golf in 2022. And I would love to hear some of the goals, so please feel free to send me a direct message. It's been wonderful having you guys here on the podcast for 2 full seasons. Season 3 is going to start at the beginning of January. I wish you all Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, and thank you so much again for tuning in here at the Raising Golfers podcast. We'll see you guys next year.